Yo, what's happening, guys and girls? We're live. We're back down here live. We've got our new guests in here, Mark and Steve. We've got an awesome conversation happening. And obviously with my great counterpart, Sheena Alexandra. This is the Wellness Radio, so let's jump into it.
Yeah, well, guys, I'm really super excited to introduce to you. We've got Steve Brosman, who's been in the wellness industry for 30 years, and he's the first non-American to win the International Award for Best Fitness Instructor of the Year.
That's pretty close.
And then we've got Mark. Mark's a surgeon, and I've never spoken to a surgeon before, so we're going to learn about his business, Live After Weight Loss. He helps reconstruct people after they lose weight, and this platform supports people after that time in their life, because it's not just about losing weight, it's about keeping the weight off and making sure you've got a great mental attitude for the rest of your life, really. So we're going to just dive in and have Steve talk a little bit about himself first, and then we'll get the ball rolling.
Let's do this, guys.
Yeah, okay, guys. Look, it's great to be here, and thank you so much for inviting us along. We're excited about the project that we've
We'll go live first. We'll go live.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Radio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we're...
Sorry, guys.
We'll glitch it.
We've just been trying to curveball.
Yeah, the curveball.
Rewind.
That's it. I'm just keeping you guys on your toes, right?
There's nothing like live
Our
TV.
tagline is education and entertainment.
That's right.
To help people build more of an inspired version of themselves. That was definitely entertaining. You ready to go, guys?
Yeah, we'll just
That was
pause.
a good bring in as well, by the way. I should get you to bring in the show next time. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's
I
do
used to
this.
host one on Channel 9, so...
So that's why you got it so down packed. Ready to go? 3, 2, 1.
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Weekend Wellness Show. We are live down on Bondi Radio on this awesome day. This is Lee Nzolo, the host, with Sheena Alexandra, the co-host. And we've got two great people. This is the first in a few firsts here.
Yes.
We've got a first international award winner for personal trainer. Yeah. We've got a surgeon. We've got 4 people in the studio. And...
We've got a live rock and roll band backing us
rock and roll
up.
band, and potentially the Bee Gees in action.
Yeah, we got a band in the background. Also, we've got another humble hero here. Steve helped me on my career path, just like Howard did about a year ago. So we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. So
That's exciting. So let's lead it off. Sheena, you want to lead it off then?
Well, I was just talking before the break that Steve is the first. Well, we already promoted him, right? We already talked about how awesome Steve is. He's the first non-American to win the International Award for Fitness Instructor, Best Fitness Instructor of the Year.
So what does that involve? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
You go to like a big...
Well, it's a major organisation, probably the largest one, and I think they had something like 150,000 members.
Yeah.
And you get nominated, and there's obviously a judging panel, and down to the final 3. The funny thing was, I was a little boy from country New South Wales at the time, with a couple of the mega stars of the industry, and I'm sitting there with my camera to take the photo of whoever was going to win. and they called out my name. I was like, well, you better take the camera because I've got a award to pick up. But it was very interesting because at the time it was not the mainstream. I'd worked a lot in the weight loss industry with kids and seniors, so I was working in the different population groups more than just the mainstream. And at that time they thought, well, hey, listen, we do want to give recognition to those particular areas, and I guess that's the main reason I won it, is because I was specialising in a lot of the different areas that most people weren't.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome. And then Mark, so how did you and Mark meet then?
Well, Mark and I met some time ago, and we've crossed paths, and I'll basically say how Live After Weight Loss came about. It was just tossing around, and we had a chat, and he said, a lot of my plastic surgery is helping people after they've lost significant amounts of weight. And I said, well, you may not know, because we were talking marketing more than just health and fitness. And I said, well, you know what we really should do? We should put a platform together for those people who have lost a lot of weight, because there's a lot of stuff out there to help people losing weight. You know, there's programs, there's all stuff, but once they've lost it, there's nothing to support them. So we've got together and formed Live After Weight Loss, so that we've got, we'll go through a little bit more detail later. Yeah, we've got the nutritionists, we've got the mindset people, we've got the wellness people, We've got exercise people all in there to help people stay on track.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things, because they achieve it, and a lot of them put it all back on again. So that's our real focus, and that's how Mark and I got together.
Because that's a great point as well, because there is a sense of when we have weight loss, it's just the yo-yo effect, isn't it? It's that ongoing thing. If people lose weight, but then they put it back on again. Why do you guys dive into why people do that, or do you just help them fix
Yeah, maybe
that?
I could answer this because it's a very important piece of the weight loss struggle and journey. People go up and down, and it's really quite a typical story for a lot of people. And I think there's some scary statistic that says that people that lose significant amount of weight, more than 80% of them put it back on again, and then the cycle starts again.
Yeah.
So, look, I've been doing plastic surgery now for 20 years, in my practice, and so I see this a lot. The people that sit in my office come in and say, look, I have been up and down 3 times. I have really put my mind to it. I have lost 30 kilos, and it's all good, and then I just fall off the wagon again, right? And the weight goes back on, and one time when I met Steve, we got talking, and it's quite obvious that it's not just the process of losing weight, but really what's got to determine the long-term effects and long-term success. It's all about keeping the weight off. And that's, as I say, it's not just the point in time. It is, the time after.
Do you think it's a purpose, or the lack of purpose, and that's what drives people to yo-yo? I mean, the purpose becomes losing the weight, and when they've got there, it's like, I've achieved my purpose, so then I think becomes that cycle. So
I just think it's being human, really. Because we all can have a goal and strive for the goal, whatever it is, and you get there, and there is just a natural tendency to say, I'm here, I'm good. I'll just sit back.
Let's celebrate.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's celebrate and kick back and enjoy the rewards, but. Time creeps up on you, real life creeps up on you, we've all got duties and, hassles and work.
A lot of people can focus on that goal, a short-term effort. If you've seen The Biggest Loser, as much as that is not real life, they can focus and they can keep going for that one goal. But once they're there, it's harder to keep it off. What are the goals? What are the differences? That's why we've pulled in a guy called James Short as a mindset goal-setting expert. So that when they've got that goal, what is it that we could do to support them in a mindset way? Because a lot of weight loss and a weight gain is mindset. So we have to work with them to say, okay, once you're here now, what do you do? How do you keep it off? So we've tried to look at the 4 main areas, and you're right, the goal setting, achievement. See, sometimes I opened up a health club in 83, and one of the biggest goals that we had people set as soon as they started, if they had never exercised before, was exercise adherence. Just instead of coming in and saying, I want to lose 10 kilos, no, for the first month you just want to turn up. Consistency and turn up. And so when people have, they've strived, they've put everything else aside and they've got to that goal, it's like, well, okay, now I can go back to living. But that's what caused it in the first place.
Right.
So, with some of the stuff James has got, it's like, well, now you're here, adherence.
Exactly.
Sticking to
it.
Should be the first goal.
Yeah, definitely.
Because weight gain is a lifetime worth of habit too, because you're also breaking a habit, and maybe the year that it took them to lose the weight is not enough time to break the habit that they have been in for 30 years or whatever their life is. So do you focus about focusing on the breaking of the habit that still needs to be considered after they lose the weight?
You've probably done.
I was going to say absolutely. I mean, this is the part of the weight loss maintenance that James and nutritionists would help with. All right, I sort of deal with the physical after effects of the weight loss. Things like loose skin. When people have loose skin around their abdomen, getting rashes and getting discomfort. That's what I deal with. I sort of deal with the physicalities, but there's no question that the psychological effects and the persistence or the changing of the habits, really changing the mindset is by far the more important thing.
And the hardest thing. It's really hard to change your mindset after you've been doing something for your whole life.
That's
know.
why you need to start. You've got to create new habits along the way. So,
that's right.
But I'll also leave, like what I was saying before. You can still celebrate once you've reached your goal. That's not to say you can't celebrate.
Yeah,
Simultaneously, just getting back up.
Yeah, and that's why we actually called it live. After
Live.
weight loss.
Live.
You know,
Yes.
you can't starve yourself forever, and you can't put everything aside forever. It's like, how do you actually live once you've done all of that? And it's all about enjoying life.
Yeah.
And if you've lost a massive amount of weight, well, then you've got the energy. You've got that. One of the things that and Mark, I'll talk about why I'm working. I'm in the health and fitness industry. Why am I working with a plastic surgeon? Aren't we enemies? But a lot of people that do lose a lot of weight, and we congratulate them and celebrate them doing that. But they do have excess skin. They do have physical issues that are never going to go away unless people like him step in.
Yeah.
And they may have done everything on the inside, but they still look in the mirror and feel bad about themselves and look at it and just say, I still don't know what, I still don't like what I see.
Right.
So what's the point?
Yeah.
And then go back again. So when we're working with Mark, and he adds to their aesthetics as well as their energy and their self-belief, that makes a massive difference to be able to get out there, feel good about themselves, and say, you know what, I am going to live again.
Yeah. I think what's really great about this program is that I think everybody needs a health coach, like just as anybody needs a life coach, because your diet is always changing, and I think talking about nutrition on an ongoing basis, learning about nutrition, learning about minerals, and constantly gaining knowledge in what you put in your body is something that everybody needs to take more ownership on. And the more you talk about it, or you're coached, or you just, it's part of your life that you need coaching with.
Exactly.
Because
But it should become part of your life and part of your thinking. Otherwise, it's extremely difficult to change. If you just keep coming back to one thing or another, you say, today I should exercise, or crikey, I haven't had a salad for a while. That sort of sporadic I suppose mentality or thinking is not going to produce long-term results. And that's why we really wanted to concentrate on this interplay between the mind, the body, and changing your view of yourself and the way you go about living and maintaining that weight. The kind of the physicality of it, as I say, as Steve said, it kind of complements all the really important inside stuff. All right. So people are starting on their weight loss journey. They're learning to eat better. They're learning to exercise more. They're learning to appreciate themselves more. But at the end of the day, when you've lost 40 or 50 kilograms, the flappy skin, it looks unsightly. It's uncomfortable. All right. You can't fit clothes properly. All right. It's an issue in the bedroom. It's an issue on the beach. We're looking at the beach out here. It's an issue. It's an aesthetic issue, and then it impacts back on your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-image. And it doesn't matter how well you eat, that skin is not going to go. And so that's where I come in, and then that feeds back. When you have a nice cosmetic result, tightening of the skin, improved comfort from the surgery. Then all these other things just seem so much more worthwhile. And so much more productive again.
Yes. Wow.
Do you think that's maybe why as well people put the weight back on, as you were mentioning, because they're going to the beach and like, I've lost all this weight anyway. I'm still not feeling great. I'm still uncomfortable. There, the yo-yo begins. But if you come into doing the surgery and then feel that just adds that extra dimension, it almost cements what you've done in a way.
You are totally spot on. It's totally spot on.
Can you say that to my mum? I'm never really my girlfriend. Can we get that on record?
I've said it a few times. I had a patient in my rooms just this week, who said exactly those things. So she'd lost 35 kilos, and she said, "No, look at me now. All this skin around the stomach, all this skin around my arms. Sometimes I wish I just never lost the weight, because I look at myself in the mirror. I thought, well, I look worse now. All right. Not only do I look worse, but I actually still feel like all the weight is on me."
Can I ask about the surgery? Is there like a certain price point for surgery, or is it per person depending on how much skin they have to lose?
Well, I tend to structure it that certain procedure costs a certain amount of money and commitment in time, just
Yeah.
healing time. I tend not to make it on size, because somehow that
The more we remove, the more you're going to have to fix it.
somehow that doesn't seem right.
Today,
I understand the point.
You can make 70 kilos. Going great, $10 a kilo.
Yeah, the thing about it is that people that have lost a lot of weight, a lot of areas are affected. So it's not just the stomach,
Yes.
it's the legs,
Yes.
and it's the arms, and breasts, and both in men and in women. It's the neck and the face. So there's multiple areas of concern, and when somebody's reached that point in their decision making that crikey, I need to do something about this loose skin. I need to have a not good relationship with that person, because we're going to be together for some time, looking after different areas. You can't do everything at once.
So how long would it take? I mean, obviously it depends on the person, but say you're one of your cases that took longer, how long will they be with you for? Like a 6-month period?
Yeah, look, let me give just an example. So somebody, somebody who's lost 40, 50 kilos, and they have 4 or 5 different body areas that they're concerned about. All right. So during the consultation, when I see them, we will go through, number one, what are the priorities, right? What are the things that bug you the most? Is it the stomach, or is it the legs chafing, or whatever? And every person has got a different priority list.
Yeah.
All right. So we list it, and then part of the planning for long term is how do you go about grouping the procedures or the corrections, in a way that number one meets your goals, all right, and number two keeps you safe, because it's surgery, and sometimes it's fairly big surgery, so we've got to make sure that we don't endanger your life, or cause unnecessary or unreasonable complications from surgery.
Yeah,
because
exactly
everybody wants to go, let's get this done, let's go back to work, let's get back to exercise and living. I mean, it's because really the surgery is just a milestone. It's just a step in the whole process.
Right.
So what would happen with, say, I've lost all my weight, I've gone down to 70 kilos, and then come into live after weight loss? How does it work then for people who want to come to your site or your platform?
Well, the people will come to the platform. We've got 2 things. We've got a Facebook page, which is Live After Weight Loss, and there is a website, liveafterweightloss.com.au, and they can come and they can have a look around. There's some great information, there's some videos on there, and we're going to be continually putting up lots of extra information. So they can go there, and they will be able to connect with some of the experts that we do have on there, and we'll be able to connect directly with Mark as well, because there's some videos on some of the different procedures that he's had. So it's a very comprehensive, and we're continually building it now.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to see, this is what I need help with right now.
Yeah.
This is what I need help with right now. And if they're at the point, well, I'm doing a lot of those sorts of things, and I need some, as Mark would call it, some aesthetic correction, then they'll be able to contact him directly through there as well.
Yeah, okay.
So you're specifically looking for people that need to have a correction. Could they be maybe older and have saggy skin and come to you as well, or is it just primarily people that have lost weight?
Well, look, that's what plastic surgeons do.
Yes.
So the answer is yes. I certainly see people in their 50s, 60s, whatever they're concerned about, say facial appearance, getting a bit of jowling or whatever. Sure, of course. I mean, that's part of plastic surgery. But the Live After Weight Loss is specifically, I suppose, targeted at people that have got these aesthetic concerns as a result of weight loss specifically.
Yes, right. It's funny because I have a friend that's lost a good amount of. Before you told me about Mark, it was the same thing. I mean, I've lost weight, but I don't know what to do with all this skin. So now I've got someone. Now I've got someone to refer her to, and anybody else that has that problem, because it is a problem. Even when you're, not have a lot of skin, there's room there.
And it's a growing need and demand. It's the funny thing that. And people may think that, what's a fitness wellness guy doing with the surgeon? Because I think they go hand in hand. And right back in '84, when I had a guy come to my health club, and he was a massive man. And by the time we'd finished some of his training programs, he was cycling a couple of 100 Ks, he was running marathons, and he still had a fairly large belly just from skin.
Yeah.
And he put it off, and he said, "Oh, Steve, can I talk to you?" I said, sure. He said, I'm thinking of having a tummy tuck. And he thought I'd be... I said, fantastic. You're doing enough exercise to kill 3 people. And that's not going to go. So you have my blessing and support, and let me help you through it. And so that was way back then, and when it was almost taboo for him to go and do that sort of thing, but he was surprised at my attitude. And my attitude is, everything fits together, and we're celebrating that you have lost it, you've worked hard, and whatever it is that we can do to support them to do that. And now in Victoria, bariatric surgery is quite often through the public system and paid for. So there's going to be a lot of people now that are going to be looking for some sort of support after they've lost a lot of weight, and we want to be there as the comprehensive support for those sorts of people.
So is this you're not doing personal training, or you're not in that world anymore then? You're just focusing on this?
I haven't actually done personal training myself for probably about 20 odd years. That's the most of my work now is in marketing and helping people with their businesses. And so physically I don't do it, but I'm still got clients. I've just finished a tour helping health and fitness clubs with getting out there and communicating better with their market. And that's where I saw the need here, is we just need to communicate. Guys, there's I don't want to call it a one-stop shop, but there's finally somebody who supports people, and we're not out there to take money off people to lose weight. It's not a weight loss site. It's not come and pay this and we'll lose 10 kilos. It's a totally free site. And we're there about educating and helping people once they've got to this point. And that's the goal.
And it's international. It's international too. So you guys coach people from around the world, or do you want them to be based here in Sydney so you can?
Well, the site is open to all visitors. It's internet based. So whoever wants to look us up, is certainly free to do so. All the consultants that we have, all the people involved in Live After Weight Loss are local. So so they're obviously better positioned to serve the local demand.
Right. Or you can bring Skype calls into it. I mean,
one of the people that we've actually got in the nutrition side is contributing from America as well.
That's right.
The others are primarily local. So we have built the international field, but however, we are still looking for the local people, and if they want to contact any of those people that we do have here on the grounds and take up any of their programs, then that'll be much easier for them.
Awesome. Great.
Interesting. And so what about, so you just retired, you retired after personal training after you won this international...
Is that too good for that?
Well, no, what happened after that, I was travelling, speaking and training, consulting, coaching.
You had a stint on Channel 9, you were just talking about that before.
That was a kids show I hosted on Channel 9 back in 2000.
Okay.
So I've been in and out of TV for 20 odd years as well. But once I left, I sold my own health club. I did a lot of work in kids' health and fitness, set up some programs there, franchised one of those into 5 countries. But then I was just travelling, and I was just getting burnt out. I'm in 8 to 10 countries per year, in and out of suitcases, and so then I came to Sydney. And one thing led to another, and then it was all about using the background that I built all my businesses to help other businesses, and I just really loved helping businesses grow with the marketing, and that's what I've really been doing for the last 15 years.
And wait, so you guys you live in eastern suburbs then? Is that what you said? Did you say that?
No, we're on the light side. We don't come to the dark side very often.
What's the light side? What's the light side first, and then we'll see if that is actually the light side.
Can we just say we're Sydney-siders?
You can say that, but I might not believe you.
We are on the water.
You are on the water
at the moment. In Bondi, beautiful place.
Yeah, we are. No, we're just over the bridge.
Okay, cool. No, well, I actually deflected from. I was this side of the bridge, and then I moved over to the north side about 6 months ago, I think. So
I can see the sparkle in your face now. It's feeling so much better.
Well, when I first went over there, because my girlfriend's a freshwater girl, so she's born and bred in freshwater around that area. So the first date, I was actually looking at the sky when I went up to the bridge, over the bridge there, and had a date. She's like, "What are you doing looking up to the sky?" I go, "I didn't know you had light over here." I thought it was the dark side of Mordor, you know, like that sort of thing. So, and I love it. It's awesome over there.
Yeah, you can actually see this guy over there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you're out of TV. You wouldn't go back to doing TV then?
I don't need to.
You don't need to.
I do a lot of this.
Yeah, he does video.
I'm live streaming 3 to 4 times per week, putting videos up and out.
Yeah.
Interesting, I had a client, and it was the first time I ever used it. It just popped out of my mouth. Knowing the TV industry and how strong/fickle it can be, she came to me with an idea and she said, I want to pitch this to TV. And I said, no, you're bigger than TV.
Wow.
And that's where it's got to.
Yeah.
So you don't have to rely on TV networks at all.
Yeah.
You can build your own popularity. You guys have got a live stream following. You've got so much going on.
Yeah.
You don't actually need the networks anymore.
Yeah, they need us.
Yeah, they do. And what they do is they actually go shopping. They go shopping and see who's got what out there. How can we integrate that back into it? The same as books. Yeah. You don't need to get a publisher these days. We've helped over 100 people get Amazon bestsellers. My wife's an Amazon guru.
Wow.
So
where's he been? You haven't
No,
never
so
told me
listen
about
to
him.
like
I
see.
just put out a book
I
now.
know.
One person bought it. It's my mother. No, 2 people. My girlfriend as well bought it. 3 people. My dad as well. So
publishers actually crawl Amazon.
Wow. Okay.
And say, wow, you're popular.
Yeah.
How can we use what you're doing to publish it and make money? So as far as what we're doing here, we want to, we've got the platform there, so then we'll start getting our experts putting out live streams and videos and that's it. And stuff like that.
Exactly right.
Everybody's after content.
Exactly.
That's the thing. So, whatever you can find, a topic, that people are interested in. Yeah. There's multiple ways of making it known. Yeah,
and the interesting thing about live after weight loss is, I don't know if I've got the stat exactly right, because I haven't checked in a while. It's like 64% of people are considered obese or overweight in Australia.
You're pretty close. I actually just looked it up before we came here, but 63% overweight or obese.
And are you the one that works with the kids, obese kids?
I'm not doing so much now, but I did set up a foundation back in 2001, the Totally Active Foundation. Yeah. Ran a lot of programs trying to get kids active. We did one thing called the Billion Beats Day. We're trying to get 1 billion heartbeats, but we ended up with, I think it was something like 150,000 kids exercising on the 1 hour on the 1 day across Australia, just to bring a notice to childhood obesity, which is another passion of mine. So the other thing that Mark and I had identified, that maintaining weight loss and what we're doing is not sexy.
No, that's right.
We don't put up before and after photos. We don't have people coming to all of this. So we're doing the non-sexy version of what is necessary out there. So we really have to, not so much work hard, but all the people that are trying to push, we have a weight loss pill, we have a weight loss something, that's sort of sexy. But we want people to live and help them with their life, which is probably the non-glamorous part of the weight loss industry.
So that's where your marketing skills and business skills might have to come into play then, because this is the thing that's needed the most, like what you guys are doing, and it's not the sexy part. If you look at, I'm not going to name trainers out there, they're doing really well with, as you said before, the before and after. What happens after?
What happens after the after?
What happens after the after?
I mean, part of this whole thing is, like we were saying before, it's the natural tendency for the up and down. Yeah. We want to stop that, and because that's a long-term project for everybody who's involved, then the before and afters. Well, when's the after? Yeah. I mean, having said that, a lot of the surgery that I do, we've got spectacular before and afters too. So we also have that. But really the focus on this process on this site is the after. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's really the ongoing maintenance of what can go on and how well you can be after you've achieved the result.
Yeah, exactly right. That's the challenge, isn't it? When there's not one moment to distinguish after the weight loss. It's not one photo.
It's the rest of your life.
It's the rest of your life.
So what's in this Facebook group? Is it just motivational content, or is it informational content?
Well, we're kicking it off, and we've only just recently launched it. So we're gradually building the community. and we want to celebrate people's wins. It's almost, I don't want to call it an AA group, but
Yeah.
hey, I've been sober. I've been, I've maintained my weight.
Yes.
And again,
right.
that's not super sexy.
Yeah.
So, hey, I've maintained my weight for 12 months. I've
Yeah.
maintained my weight for 2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm doing stuff with my family that I
Yeah.
never did before.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be doing. So it is education, it is support, but it's also group support.
Yeah.
And we want people to
It's
come
also-
in and stay.
It's also inspirational too, because I'm sure that seeing other people succeed after weight loss is always a good. I always love watching success stories. Yeah, motivational.
Yeah,
It's motivational.
Yeah.
So, like as Steve said, there's two parts to it. You know, there's the website with your motivational articles and informational articles.
Yeah.
Yes, that's all there. But ultimately, I think the power and the strength of this will be when we have people come and visit the Facebook page, share their stories,
Yeah.
share their photographs if they want to. But mainly, it's about the journey that they've gone through, where they've ended up in, and how they're living their
Yeah.
life. After the weight loss.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like, oh, he's done it or she's done it.
Yeah,
and,
I can do
it
it too.
can be done.
Yes,
So that's
absolutely.
a help for me and inspiration for me.
I see it as
Absolutely.
I honestly see it going really gangbusters in the corporate world. I mean, if you look at the stats that are in workplace productivity, sick pay, and what companies are getting costed by people who are not healthy, not continually engaging in physical activity, that's where you guys, be in there a lot more. So, I mean, because like the corporate world, like if you look at the younger girls who are just, or young girls, young guys, just taking a photo of like, I've done it, celebrate it. But the older, I guess, more mature people in the, who are a lot more in the corporate sector would be useful. I'd find this a lot more information useful as well.
Well, it just feeds into wider health policy and the implications of having weight on and losing it and maintaining it.
Yeah.
Because as you rightly say, with being overweight, being obese, a number of health risks stem from that. Whether it's blood pressure or diabetes, skin conditions. Serious health issues, and it's now very well established that weight loss, reduces the risk of those medical conditions. So the implication society-wide on healthcare costs is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Very interesting.
I'm dying. I have 3 questions for
Go.
Mark. Oh my gosh, I've never spoken to.
Brace ourselves for this.
Okay,
This is
so-
what it again. This is what Shane did before. She has this big grin on her, like she's plotting something.
I've never spoken to a surgeon before, and I have to ask: do you daydream at all when you're in surgery? Can you daydream?
No, not so much. You
No.
can concentrate.
Yeah.
The ultimate
What-
version of being present.
Yeah. Okay. And so,
Finish the day. It's like, where did I put that scalpel?
No, it's fairly intense when you're in surgery.
Yeah,
You've
okay.
got to give it attention
Okay.
for sure. So
What
no
happens-
dream afterwards.
what happens when you sneeze, or something happens where you have to cough or something? What happens then?
You should go, excuse me, and turn away.
Yeah. So it's not like a big okay. And then the last question: do you recycle the skin? Do you do anything
I had that question as well before,
that's
You
productive?
mean the skin that's been taken
Yes.
off?
Yeah, the one that you're charging them for.
Oh, no. That's,
Is that controversial?
No, it's not
Yeah.
controversial. It is just disposed of.
Is there anything in there that could be?
called medical waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is there
It's
anything in there
incinerated.
that would be able to be useful?
Well, look, it's interesting. We have got an association with the University of Sydney, and they always have a number of research projects on cellular biology, so biology of fat cells, for example, or lymphocytes, or whatever it may be. So we often supply the removed skin to the university for their research.
Right.
Not everything, of course, but for specific projects and purposes.
Yeah.
And once it's obviously been cleared by ethics committees, etc. But yes, we do. Yeah.
Right.
So what if you do, say for example, you are present and then you just your mind does what it wanted, you just go, I'm going to stop for a second?
No,
Like,
I
just-
just
have to
don't
stay
find it. I
laser
just don't
focused.
find it bonkers. There's plenty to do in any procedure, and I just don't.
So yeah, good. Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time, boys. Do you have any final thoughts, any final words of wisdom that we can share with our audience to help get live for after weight loss out there?
Look, I think we've been through most of the important stuff. You know, I just encourage your listeners and viewers just to check out the Facebook page and the actual website.
Yeah.
It's obviously not for everybody, but if you can find it helpful, then we'd be happy to be involved.
Absolutely. I look forward to sharing the good words that you guys have and referring you to some people too, because I've got a couple people that.
All right, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, guys. See everyone at home.
Thank you so much for your support, guys.
Are we going to wrap it up?
We're going to wrap it up.
What time is it?
We're off the music's playing in the background. We're still live on Facebook.
We're still live on Facebook.
Still
Okay.
live.
Should we close it off? Or?
Close it off,
Yeah.
guys.
Bye, guys. Have a good
See you later.
weekend.
Thank you so much.